Dear students, see last time we started lesson number 9, that is ray optics and optical instruments. Now in this lesson we have to study different optical phenomena. Okay, now like reflection, refraction, okay, scattering of light, dispersion of light. Okay, so in the previous lectures we have completed reflection of light. Okay, and we derived the mirror formula, okay, and equation of the magnification or a linear magnification, and we took some examples also based on this. Now today we proceed further in lesson number 9. So we start with the refraction. Now see, this is a familiar phenomena to us. See, simple language, bending of light in different medium is called refraction of light. A bending of light in different medium is called refraction of light. Or see, when a ray of light travel from one transparent medium to other transparent medium, it changes its direction. Okay, this is called okay. See, when a ray of light travels from one transparent medium to another transparent medium, it changes its direction. This is called refraction of light. See, in the 10th standard, you studied about refraction due to a rectangular glass slab. Okay, 10th standard, you studied about refraction due to a rectangular glass slab. Let us say, see, this ABCD is a rectangular Now see here, we can say air is a medium, which is a thin medium, and here glass is a medium, which is a thick or denser medium. Okay, glass is a thick or a denser medium. Now see, this is a normal to the surface AB. Okay, now let us say a ray is incident PQ. Is an incident ray that is incident on the surface AB. Now this is the original direction of the incident ray. But see, air is a thin medium, glass is a thick or a denser medium. See, when a ray travels from a rarer medium or a thin medium to a thick medium, it bends towards the normal. Now you can see it has moved. See, the direction is changed. Move toward the normal. Okay, now this is refracted ray. Now this is a normal to the surface CD. Okay, now here also, see, on CD surface, this is a normal drawn. Now here, when it moves from a glass to air, it will move away from the normal, so the direction will be changed like this. Okay, so we can write like this: PQ, R and S. See here, see, PQ is our incident ray, QR is our refracted ray, and RS is emergent. Okay, so when it travels from a thin medium to a thick medium, it bends toward the normal. When it travels from a denser or a thick medium to air thin medium, moves away from the normal. So when it travels from a thin medium or a rarer medium to denser medium, moves towards normal. Okay, you can see that this angle and this angle are different, or this is angle of refraction, this is angle of incidence. Angle of refraction is less than angle of incidence. So when a ray travels from a thin medium to a thick medium, it moves toward the normal, and when it travels from denser to a rarer medium, moves away from. Okay, so when a ray of light travels from a rarer medium to a denser medium, it bends toward the normal. Okay, and when it travels from a denser to a rarer medium, moves away. Okay, now see, we can easily prove. Let us say this angle is theta 1, this is theta 2, this is theta 3, and this is theta 4. See, we can easily prove theta 1 and theta 4 is equal. That you studied in the 10th standard also. Now see, this is the original direction of the incident ray, and this RS is a emergent ray. Okay, these two rays are parallel. These two rays are parallel, and see the distance, perpendicular distance between them is called lateral shift. Okay, that is called lateral shift. That we'll see later on. So refraction is bending of light in a different medium. Okay, refraction is bending of light in a different medium. Now see, next we have to see about laws of refraction. Okay, now see the first law. See, this is incident ray, the refracted ray, and the normal at the point of incidence are in the same plane. Again, we earlier also we talked about plane is a surface, okay, which is formed by three non-collinear points. So here also we are having three non-collinear points. So we can write, see, the incident ray, refracted ray, and normal at point of incidence are in same plane. Okay, and see, this is theta 1 is an angle of incidence. See, theta 2 is an angle of refraction. Now see the second law. See, the ratio of sine of angle of incidence to sine of refraction is constant. Okay, the ratio of angle of sine of incidence to angle of sine of refraction is constant. This is called refractive index. Now let us say this is our medium 1 and this is medium 2. See, this ratio is called refractive index of medium 2 with respect to 1. Okay, we can write N21 is a refractive index of medium 2 with respect to. Okay, so this is about the Snell's law. This is called, okay, that is a ratio of angle of sine of incidence to sine of refraction is constant. See, this N21 is called the refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1. See, that we can write as is nothing but N2 upon N1. Okay, see, the N2 upon N1 we can write is N21. Okay, that we call as a refractive index of medium 2 with respect to 1. So generalized formula, N1 sin theta 1 is equal to N2 sin theta. Okay, now this is the equation which represents the Snell's law. So what are laws of refraction? See, the incident ray, the refracted ray, and the normal at the point of incidence are in the same plane. And the Snell's law, that is second law of refraction, the ratio of the angle of sine of angle of incidence to sine of refraction is constant. See, that is called n21. That is n21. N21 we can write as n2 upon n1. Okay, that is called the refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1. And generalized formula for the Snell's law, n1 sin theta is equal to n2 sin theta. This is about laws of refraction. Now let us see what it has to do with the speed of light. Now see the formula you have studied, n is equal to c upon v. What is c? C is the speed of light in vacuum. That is 3 into 10 to 8 meter per second. Okay. Now see, we have to relate with the speed also. So what we can say, the speed is inversely proportional to refractive index of the medium. So in a denser medium, speed will be less, and rarer medium, speed will be more. Okay. Now see, by using this, we can write n1 is equal to c upon v1, n2 is equal to c upon v2. Okay, n is equal to c upon v. So our refractive index n21 is n2 upon n1, c upon v2 upon c upon v1. Okay, this is a useful relation which we'll use in the MCQ. Okay, so this is how we can relate the speed of light in a different medium. So n is equal to c upon v, or v is equal to c by n. Sorry. Okay, so what we can say, speed is inversely proportional to refractive index. So in a denser medium, okay, speed of the light will be less. In the rarer medium, speed will be more. Okay, now we have seen n21 is n2 upon n1. Okay, now see what we can write about n12. Okay, now we see these are reciprocal of each other. Okay, so we can write n21 into n12 is 1. Why? Because they are reciprocal of. So suppose I have to write n31 now, that is n3 upon n1. Now see, we can write like this also. Why? What we have done? Multiplied and divided by n2. Now this has become. Okay. So see, when a 3 medium, 1, 2 and 3 medium, and the light is propagating in the all 3 mediums. So see, the total refractive index we can write as a combination of that. Same way we can write n41 is n43 into n32 into n21. Okay, this is useful sometimes for the MCQ. Or n51 is equal to n54, n43, n32, n2. Okay, so this is how we can represent. We can extend for any number of mediums. Okay, but generalized formula we have to remember. Okay, this is about the refractive index. Now see here, as I told, see, this is the original direction. Okay, this is the original direction of the incident ray, and this is a emergent ray. Okay, see, the perpendicular distance between them is called lateral shift. Okay, now right now, see, the theoretical part is not in the our syllabus, but let us say P is the thickness of the glass slab. Okay, and see, this perpendicular x is nothing but our lateral shift. Theta 1 is the angle of incidence, theta 2 is the angle of refraction. Then lateral shift x is equal to t sine theta 1 minus theta 2 upon cos theta 2. Okay, this is the formula for the lateral shift. Okay, this is the formula for the lateral shift. Now see, we have to be familiar with the phenomena taking place due to refraction of light. Now here we have understood basic of the refraction. Okay, that is a refraction by a glass slab. Okay, and we have talked about laws of refraction also. Now, some optical phenomena based on this we have to discuss. Now, let us say, see the glass vessel. Okay. Now, see a coin is placed like this here at the bottom. But suppose we observe from here. Okay. Now here water is a denser medium and observer is in a rarer medium. Okay. Now let us say, see the water is filled with the up to height h0. Okay. Now see the observer, see the coin, he feels that because of the refraction it is shifted upward. Now that height is hi. Okay. Now ho is a real depth, hi is the apparent depth. Okay. Now the relation also we can derive, but right now we accept. See, this is hi upon ho. Okay, is equal to n rarer upon n denser. Okay. Now see, ho is a real depth, hi is the apparent depth. See, n rarer is a refractive index of the rarer medium. Suppose here we are in air, so it will be refractive index of air. Now water is filled, the denser will be water. So here what we have seen is the observer is in rarer medium. Okay. Now second case, suppose observer is in, let us say, denser medium. Now take an example. Let us say pond or a lake. Okay. Now see, fish is an observer and let us say a swimmer. Okay. Swim vertically, downward direction. So here we can see the fish is observer which is in a denser medium. And this is rarer medium or a thin medium. This is thick medium. Okay. Now in that case, see the relation will change. See, it will become hi upon ho is n denser upon n rarer. Okay. Now see, in that case the relation will become like this. See, n denser upon n rarer will be like this. So these are the phenomena taking place. Okay. This is the relation between real depth and apparent depth. Now see, due to refraction, see the some of the phenomena are taking place in our day-to-day life. See, at the time of sunrise and sunset. Okay, at the time of sunrise and sunset. Okay. Now let us say this is the earth. Now the sun. Okay. Now see, because of the phenomena of refraction, now let us say this is our horizon. Okay, this is our horizon. Okay, now what is horizon? See the imaginary line where the earth and the sky meet. Okay, so because of the sunlight refraction, see the observer, okay, on the surface of the earth feels that sun has become 2 minutes earlier. Then see the actual position is here, but he feels that the sunrise has taken place 2 minutes earlier. See, this also can be calculated, okay, by formula. Okay, and at the time of sunset also he feels that the sun is on the horizon 2 minutes more. Okay, this is also a phenomena taking place due to refraction. See, in the numerical part we'll calculate this also. Okay, so this is about phenomena taking place due to refraction of light. Now, see, next phenomena we have to study about is a total internal reflection. Okay. Now, See, this also you have studied in the 10th standard, but right now we have to give some mathematical equation for this also. Now TIR, or it is called total internal okay. Now one thing we have to keep in mind that total internal reflection take place. Total internal reflection takes place when a ray travels from denser medium okay. Now the total internal reflection takes place when a ray travels from a denser medium to a rarer medium. Okay. Now let us say this is a transparent vessel in which water or any liquid is filled. Now we keep a light source here. Okay. Now let us say, see, first ray moves normal. Okay. Now see, ray is incident at different angles. Okay. Let us say first ray, see when it travels from a denser medium to a rarer medium. Okay, and let us say here air is a medium 251. Now when a ray travels from a denser medium to a rarer medium, we have seen it moves away from the normal. Now let us say this is angle of incidence. Now let us say angle of incidence is increased. You can see easily. See the angle of refraction also will increase. See for a particular angle, okay, for a particular angle, okay, see angle of refraction will become 90 degree. This particular angle for which angle of refraction become 90 is called critical angle. Okay. Now see if the angle of incidence is increased beyond critical angle, you can see this angle is more than critical angle. Then see the surface separating two medium. Now this is the first surface separating two medium. Here let us say is of water and air. See in that case the surface separating two medium act as a mirror. And which phenomena we find out mirror? See the reflection. See the ray will come back in the same medium. Okay, the ray will come back in the same medium. So when the angle of incidence is increased beyond critical angle, okay, the ray will come back in the same medium, that is like reflection. So this phenomena is called total internal reflection. Now see just now we have seen, see the angle of incidence for which the angle of refraction become 90 degree is called critical angle. Now we derive equation for the critical angle, or we can derive the condition. Now let us say here is a medium 1 and medium 2. Okay. Now N1 is N and N2 is air here. Okay. Now see theta 1 is the angle of incidence, that is C critical angle, and angle of refraction is 90 degree. Theta 2 is 90. Okay. Now we use Snell's law. Okay. That is N1 sin theta 1 is N2 sin theta 2. Okay. Now N1 is N we have taken. Theta 1 is C, N sin C, N2 is 1, theta 2 is 90, that is sin 90. Okay. So what is equation? N sin C is 1. Why? Because sin 90 value is 1. Sin C is 1 upon 90. Okay. Now this is the equation relating critical angle and the refractive index of here. Okay. So this is about the total internal reflection. So we have to keep in mind that the total internal reflection takes place only when the ray travels from a denser to a rarer medium. Also, we can apply all the laws of total reflection in the phenomena of the total internal reflection. Now, see what are the phenomena we come across in our day-to-day life. Okay, Now one uh, common example is a mirage. Based on total okay, mirage generally find on the hot region also. In a day-to-day life, when we travel in a car on a in a hot atmosphere, then also we see the formation of water. That is also because of the total internal reflection. See, another phenomena we call this, see the diamond sparkles. See the diamond, it is cut in a such a way, okay, that all the rays entering will be totally internal reflection, okay, and that's why it sparkles. See, one important use of the total internal reflection is in optical fiber. See, nowadays many places you have seen OFC cables. Okay, now see all our telecom companies, okay, laying up, okay, underground optical fiber network. See, that's why only, see, our speed of the internet or the telephone has become increased. So, see, the optical fiber uses a phenomena of total internal reflection in a great sense. See, the more regarding the detailed discussion of the optical fiber, we'll study in the colleges, okay, but now see it has designed like this. Now see, this is the core part and this part is called cladding. Now see, it is designed in a such a way with the material. See, the core part has a high refractive index and cladding has a low refractive index. Okay. Now see, when a ray of light enters, okay, when a ray of light enters like this, now, okay, now let us say this is a fiber. Now see, the ray has entered, okay. Now see, value of refractive index, material of the refractive index of core and the cladding in a such a way, okay. Now it takes total internal reflection, okay, and see the ray will travel for a very large distance. Okay, see the optical fiber have a number of advantages compared to our normal cable. That's why it is nowadays very important in the field of communication. This is a phenomena taking place because of the total internal reflection. So, three phenomena. One is a mirage. See, this also you studied in the 10th standard. See the diamond sparkle. That is because of the total internal reflection. And see the optical fiber also uses phenomena of total internal reflection in a great detail. Now, this is how we have seen that phenomena of total internal reflection plays an important role in taking this phenomena. Now, see, next we take some examples. Okay, now today we have studied two things. One is a refraction of light and total internal reflection. Now, we also saw the relation between real depth and apparent depth. So, on the basis of that, we take exercise number 9.3. Okay, now see, a tank or a vessel is kept. Okay, now the height of the water is 12.5 centimeter. Okay, now see, suppose a needle is lying at the bottom. Okay, now this is observed, image is observed by a microscope. Okay, now when we see the image of the real, my needle, okay, it is at the height of 9.4 centimeter. Now this will be our HI. What will be the refractive index of the medium? Okay. Now see here, HO is given, HI is given. See our microscope, that is an observer, is in a rarer medium. So we use the formula HI upon HO is N rarer and denser. Okay. Now HI is 9.4, HO is 12.5. See here the observer, that is a microscope, is in a rarer medium, refractive index is 1. Let us say the refractive index of the denser medium is N. So N we can obtain is 12.5 upon 9.4. So that we can calculate. Okay, that turns out to be 1.329 or 1.33. Now these are our first answer. Okay, now see, okay, here the tank is filled with the water first time. So the water refractive index is 1.3, that is obtained here. Now see the second part of the question says, okay, now the water is changed, okay, and a liquid is filled in. Okay, now liquid refractive index is 1.63. Okay, liquid refractive index is 1.63. So how do we have to change the position of the microscope? Okay, how do we have to change the position of the microscope? Now see here, first time HI or H we have obtained is 9.4 centimeter. Okay, when water was filled in. Now let us say when the liquid is changed, we use the same formula, HI upon HO is N rarer upon N denser. Now HI we have to find out, HO will remain same. Why? Because the position of the needle remains same. N rarer is 1 and refractive index of the liquid is 1.63. So how do this our HI will change? Okay, so that we can obtain as, okay, that is 7.66, that is 7.7. Okay, now let us say this is, we call it H dash. Now the question says how much we have to change the position of the microscope. So change in position of microscope will be H minus H dash. Okay, now initially H we obtained is 9.4. Now when the liquid is, water is changed and a liquid of refractive index 1.63 is filled in, it will get, we get 7.7 centimeter. So the change in position, okay, 9.4 minus 7.7, okay, that is a 1.7 centimeter. So we have to change the position, okay, of the needle. So we'll get the required height. Now this is about the exercise sum number 9.3. Okay. Now today we stop here. Next time we'll proceed further in the lesson number 9. Thank you.